guys. Today, I'm gonna be playing a Minecraft horror mod, and if you didn't, well, now you know. This is a voiceover because I forgot to record all my audio, which will probably be like fixed in the next video. But so I did a lot of editing and stuff, cutting out some clips because some of them were just kind of unnecessary. So, like, as of right now, I'm heading over to the to this tower I saw because in a lot of these mod packs, there's a lot of stuff and like whatever inside the tower is like a bunch of loot and stuff that you can grab. But there is also TNT under it, so I had to make sure I wouldn't accidentally open the chest because it's a trap chest. So I opened the chest and I found this neat trident and a few enchants. And once I got done grabbing all of those and all the other stuff, I ended up heading out. But so there's a gun mod, a lot of cool building mods and stuff inside this mod pack, which is pretty fun to play with. Yeah. So after I looted that tower, I saw this other one over here. So I decided to go into it and found a chest at the top, which didn't have much stuff in it, but I did make sure to grab the gold in it because it was just that necessary for piglin bartering in the future, because I know they drop pretty good stuff. Along with it, I also found a lot of good gems in it, and since gems basically give you like superpowers on your items, it's pretty useful. Now, I wanted to try to find a way down without having to go all the way back down the stairs, so I just kind of went down the vines instead, and that kind of worked out pretty well. So then I headed over and found a little lava pit. But first I grabbed some cabbage. Mainly because cooking in this mod is actually pretty neat. You can make a lot of stuff. But I also grabbed some beetroot by accident, which it's a pretty bad food source. But anyways, I made my way over to the lava lake and found a palm tree where I mined it and decided to make a boat with it. And while I was at it, nothing really happened there for a little bit. The lava didn't spread or anything. There was a lot of grass in the area, which was kind of a pain to walk through because it would slow you down, which would be really bad, especially since this mod had the Man from the Fog, Cave Dweller, a lot of those mods. Or, not really, I mean, I think I had like 2 Goatman versions in it, because sometimes it doesn't spawn, and if it doesn't spawn at all in the entire series, then I'll probably have to download a new one. But basically, after making the boat, I accidentally placed some wood, so I decided to mine that. And it kind of worked out, but then all of a sudden I heard the sound, and I guess the Man from the Fog started watching me. And I didn't know where he was, because it gave me the advancement, but I didn't see him at all. So I got a little bit scared there, and decided to consider whether I should go out on the boat, but I decided not to, and went back over near the lava lake. And decided to go continue mining that tree, because if anything, I'd probably want to be high up and safe away from him, because I'm pretty sure you can climb, but like, it's not that bad, to be fair, because like, I can always just use a boat, jump off, and just get out of there. Either way, just safer in the tree, I think, so I decided to mine that tree, get all the wood from it, because honestly, getting palm logs, it's a decent wood type, and also just kind of nice to have. And as that happened, I kind of walked through there, just kept mining the wood. Nothing really happened. It was pretty uneventful for like the first part. Later, you'll see some interesting stuff happens, especially with like some mobs, and the Men from the Fog came back again. But for now, it's all just safe and fine. So kept mining, got a bunch of logs. Decided that was probably it. I mean, I decided, like, it isn't that scary around there, so I decided to get more logs and waited. I'm being silent right now because I don't know how to caption this, or, like, how to narrate over this. It's just me looking around near a tree. And that's why I kind of paused with, like, that silence for there. I'm not going to re-record an entire voiceover just because. Like, it didn't sound good for, like, a single second. So, yeah. Decided to make some tools so I can get some, like, items like an iron axe to help mine that tree faster. And then that's when I remembered I literally have a mod that helps me quick mine stuff. And yeah, that's, like, I don't know how I didn't realize that. So then I basically just went back to the tree and decided to mine it because, yeah, I realized that I could probably just quick mine it and it would be a lot faster. And also just mining it with an iron axe would speed up the process entirely. It had to look around to make sure nothing was there to attack me, and it worked out pretty well, I guess. I gotta say, I definitely sold there, forgetting that Ultimine was a thing. And then, yeah, I walked over there. When I remembered it, I decided to mine there. So I went back over and decided to get my crafting table, because I probably shouldn't forget that. That'd be a bad idea. And I went over, looked around a little bit. Yeah, decided to head out on the water eventually, because honestly, what's the point of just exploring for no reason all over on the same island that I've been on the entire time? Even though I had already seen the whole biome over like where I'm at, decided to keep looking at it because why not? I mean, I saw it when I first got in here, but I decided to go look at it again because it's just an interesting looking biome, and there might be some good stuff over there. But that's when the sun started to set, and that's not really the best thing. I saw that it was like a witch hazel tree, and I'm not a big fan of that, but then I saw some scrap from the gun mod. And scrap is really, really useful. Like, really useful. It's the most important thing in the entire game, basically, for me. So I decided to mine some of that stone. Like, you know, just the basic three stone, get a stone pick, all that. And was able to get all of it before anything bad happened, but then I remembered I didn't have enough sticks, so I did that again. And then, yeah, and then I made my stone pick, finally, which probably shouldn't have taken that long if I was just being smart, but I was kind of tired yesterday because it was a very groggy day, because it was raining constantly and everything. Grab some coal while I was at it, because, you know, it's always necessary. The mod for the Instamine, which I'll probably leave the mod back in the description. So I saw a witch, and it was kind of scaring me because it could have poisoned me, so I decided to walk away. And that's when I saw something fall from the tree. And I turned around, and can you guess what it was? It was the man from the fog, and he was there to steal my balls. And he was a little bit creepy, not gonna lie. He was covered in leaves and stuff like that. Well, not really, he was just in the tree. And the witch was getting a little bit closer, but stupid witch didn't realize that, like, you can't really throw potions on water because it's not solid. And that kind of helped. But I contemplating whether to go back over to him, which would have been really dangerous, but I mean, it'd be pretty good for content. But also, dangerous. And I'm not going to risk all of my good loot that I had on me, especially with 11 scrap. Like, that's 11 more scrap than I had before. $1. That's like $1 whole. So I decided to maybe go over there. And when I went over there, I realized that there's a zombie and the witch could have hit me there. So I decided, you know what, this might be a little bit too dangerous, and decided to leave. And that's when I went all the way back to another island. And then I realized that that one island I had been to before was a lot bigger than I thought. And I found this weird stony beach, which I then decided to go to. Except I also saw a pretty nice looking shipwreck to the left of it before I even got to it. So I decided to stop there before I got on. Also, because I saw a ton of mobs. And then I got into the ship, looked around. There wasn't much. Pretty good, though. I then realized that I probably needed food because I could not swim through literally anything and I would have died. But that's when I found the holy grail of this mod pack. A backpack. At first I thought it was coal because I saw black lining on it, and that's when I realized it was iron, and that's pretty good quality for a backpack you find just out in the wild, so pretty neat. I got all the iron, found another book, which I don't know what it did, but it said Atlantic Shooter, which I'm assuming was an enchant for one of the guns. I'm just coming to that realization now in the voiceover. And that's when I found a ton of wheat, and that's pretty neat. Wheat is neat. We all love wheat. And then I found a chest, and it had a buried treasure map, which I think I still have on my inventory to this day, which I'll probably check later. And I finally swapped out my trident with a sword, except I decided maybe not, because the trident was much better. It had like 9 damage and less attack speed, or, well, less time for the cooldown, so I decided to just use that instead. Organized everything, put all the enchant books on the side of the backpack, because it's just for organization, it only makes sense. found my breach gem. Decided to put all the gems in there too. I ended up doing more organizing when I got back. And then, yeah, I decided to go make sure that there was nothing else in the other chest. And that's when I remembered I don't have any armor. So I decided to grab the stuff from that one. And I got jump scared by the sound that the spawn played when the guy spawned in. The lady Sandra or something, which I didn't read fast enough inside of the edit. But anyways, I decided to organize my inventory, do a bunch of stuff there, and yeah. And that's, after a little bit of boating, and finally getting back into it, obviously, I found a pretty neat area. Had a nice pickaxe, Berserker's Fury chestplate, and Miner's Fervor 5, which is instant mine, and also Fortune, which I'm just now seeing inside of the edit. I didn't even realize it was there in the first place. Which I could have gotten the gold chestplate, but I'd rather not have something that would break instantly. And I'm just now realizing that I completely forgot to grab the golden nuggets, but it's fine. And then Aaron Yeager spawned in somewhere, which is interesting. And I know, I tried to mine the gold, and I realized it's not really mineable for what I had, and then I realized I had the gold in my inventory, and I still didn't mine it because I didn't look. And that's when I got a jump scare. Silly little guy threw a trident at me, and it hurt a lot. So that's the exact moment I decided I should really make a shield, like right now. And like most streamer clips that you see online, I forgot how to make one and decided to make a U-shape and try to make literal upside-down leggings, which obviously failed because I did it wrong. So I decided to keep going, and eventually I found a lizard tower, or whatever they're called. Honestly, I don't really know. I forgot the mod that adds them. And at this point, the rain sounds had really started to get annoying. And I got the boat. And from here on out, I decided if anything got dangerous, I should probably have it in my hotbar, else I'll probably die. Pretty good reasoning. That's when I saw a village in the background, which I'd probably head to later, but not at the time. And I decided to keep heading up the building. Or the side of the mountain. Now that's when I made it to the wizard tower finally. Decided to go inside, go up the tower. I never grab any of the gems on the walls, but I will check them, especially the gem of the royal family. This one's a really good one. Because it's one of the coolest looking gems. I don't know if that means it's actually good, but it also has an animated texture, and I'm assuming that's pretty good. This is where I almost did the same thing before. Opened it up, found chainmail gloves instead of leather, which is pretty good. Flame, serpent charmer, which seems weird. Because I have no idea what on earth a saddleboard is, or whatever that said. Fortune 2, decided to grab some stuff out of the chest, and eventually, after grabbing all the stuff, decided to leave. And that's when I decided to leave, with a boom! So I decided to place TNT, grab flint and steel, and blow this joint, literally. Except for the fact that I took a heart of damage, except I really didn't. I don't know why it registered it. Decided to make a jump for it, made it down safely. Realized that there were, I guess, silverfish that spawned from it, which never actually bothered me at all, because I was fine. Made it out of there before. For some reason, it's still surrounded by witch hazel, which is a little interesting, especially for this area. And I remember, yeah, we made it to the village. Not much at it. However, I did find some hay bales, and I decided to make some bread, which definitely helped out a lot. And also stole a bed while I was at it. And decided to get back on my boat and keep going. So I kept searching. I was pretty low on hunger for a little bit, but it was fine. And I just kept driving, nothing much, obviously. Went through some binding turns and stuff. You know, not much. And that's when I found this interesting gravel structure. So I decided to get up at where that gravel structure was, hit my boat with a trident, realizing that it gave me jump boost, which is new. I'd never even realized I did that. So, you know, kept walking, searched through the forest a little bit, you know, found a clearing and a cave, and honestly just decided to get on my boat and leave at that point, because there wasn't that much stuff around there, which was not very interesting for me, so kept driving, not much, you know. Eventually, though, I did make it to this nice little, island, kind of, like, peninsula area, which had some very interesting looking stuff. And it was very, like, cool looking. It had a lot of, like, kind of sandy, like, weird, like, tall grass kind of thing, which... And that's what I had found, the holy grail of biomes. The beautiful redwood forest. One of the greatest biomes in the game. Looks amazing up close, honestly. It just has some beautiful trees, very, like, thick bases. Great for really good, like, wood. Because all you have to do is break around one. Like, all you have to do is break the base, it all falls over, and you get a ton of wood. This is around where my inventory problems started, because I found a lot of loot on my way over. From chests and just other, like, important stuff. So I decided to kill some cows, you know. Get some beef. I left all the leather behind, which in hindsight probably wasn't the best idea, but honestly it's the best I could do, so just went with it. Kept going, found the forest, and yeah. From there, I made it to a nice little, like, up top hill area. I had to kill some more cows, just in case, because, you know, raw food, pretty useful. Kept going, and yeah. After killing some cows, you know, decided to go and kill a Tasmanian devil, because they're really annoying, and they kind of just get mad at you if you're even near them most of the time. And they do a little bit of damage, but it's not much. I remember I've died to them a lot, but I guess my armor definitely held up against them. Which is pretty neat. That's when I had kind of realized that something was a little off, and I had to check my FOV to make sure it was still 90, because it felt a little weird. Not bad. The raccoons were really loud. I was like, if this guy makes another sound, I'm gonna kill him. You know. Found some more wood to build a base with. And I went back up. And decided, alright, time to build a massive fire tower. Because that's kind of what I went to build in the first place. But, yeah, I wanted to make it about a chunk wide, which would have been a very big pain to do. But, I mean, it's what I decided, so I decided to do it. And I decided to place, like, the first log around, like, in a nice little clear area, which was a little bad, and I decided to jump off because I dug up a little bit too high, which is kind of a pain, and obviously had to count every single step, which kind of sucked. But once I had gotten that step down, it was pretty easy placing all of them. You know? Because all I had to do was just count 16, jump, place a log, count 16, jump, place a log, count 16, you know. And eventually, yep, just kept going, got all of them. And that is about when I started to go up. I decided to go up really high because, you know, higher you go, the safer you are. Was my idea. And so once I had made it all the way to the top, I decided to start bridging all the way. Made sure the chunks would line up just so it would be perfect and it wouldn't, like, accidentally overshoot or anything, which I did do in the beginning, which was a little bit of a pain. But after all that, worked out pretty well, you know? And I had gotten most of the pillar done, and yeah. Then I finished up the entire thing, or almost the entire thing, until something a little bit interesting happened. That's when, all of a sudden, I heard a sound. And I looked down, and, all of a sudden, the man from the fog appeared, and nothing happened, actually. It was pretty uneventful. The sound kept playing, which kind of scared me a little bit, and I wasn't going to really build, because if I built across, he'd probably be able to climb up the pillar, and then get across, but I guess he didn't, which is a little bit weird. Eventually, he finished up the entire thing, and yeah, worked out pretty well. Started building the entire platform, which took a very long time. At that point, I got really tired and didn't know what 13 times 14 was because I was trying to calculate how much I had left. And I didn't quite know, but I guess it is 182, I think. Which I didn't even know because I was like 4 times 3 is 12. 10 times 10 is 100. So how is it 182? I don't understand this. That doesn't make any sense, I said to myself in a reassuring way. And that's when I paused for a solid 5 minutes before finally going back to sleep to do the math, which I will now cut out all that footage because it's annoying. And I'm actively editing this while talking to you guys, which means it's going to be a really big pain for me to cut out all the clips while I talk. Like, I'm already struggling with this. I'm genuinely, like, in trouble. But I decided to get all the wood, and everything had eventually worked. I'd have to toss out some seeds. A little bit of Wandering Trader came down there the day before. And I never understood how to do the bedrock placement method, where you, like, sprint in place. And yeah, that was a little bit weird, but after a while of work, we had eventually finally gotten the entire upper platform done. And if you guys don't like the sound of my voice, congratulations. You decided to watch this video, that's your problem, not gonna lie. And I had finally gotten that entire placement system down, so once I had finally gotten that entire thing fixed, I finally, after all that time, realized that I should probably start building up the rest of the pillars, because I didn't finish those yet. So I built all the way up, finished all the pillars, and decided to do like a 3-block tall kind of thing, and surrounded them by fences. Wasted a lot of wood in the process. I got a little bit scared that possibly the man or like Herobrine or someone might spawn while I was at it, but worked out pretty well. Crafted a lot of fences, forgot the recipe at one point, kept doing it. Almost forgot the recipe again. And yeah, I remember I did have a Herobrine appearance somewhere in this section where I had turned and he was just standing there for like a split frame, and it kind of got me for a sec. And I made sure all the fences were set up, jumped around on them a little bit, and yeah, that was basically the end of the footage. So, drop another video tomorrow or whatever, I guess, or like next week or whenever I decide to. And yeah, enjoy that video when it drops. Okay, bye. See ya. Yay.